Good morning to all. Welcome to Image Graphics webinar. Myself, Fauzan, and I am taking care of pre-sales responsibilities with Image Graphics. Along with me, we have Mr. Ahmed Higazi, who is the presenter for today's topic. So he is the founder of CAD Solutions. All the attendees are muted by default. So if you have any questions, you can type it in your question tab. So today's topic for the webinar is advanced assemblies and detailed fabrication drawings at your fingertip. Well, before going ahead, I would like to take you quickly through our corporate presentation. Okay, so Image Graphics basically is leading value-added solutions and service provider company for plant engineering and project management solutions. We market and support software products, provides training, customization, and implementation services. Our solutions and services are catering to three sectors: the energy, building and infrastructure, and product design, as well as manufacturing. So Image Graphics is basically a group of companies and headquartered in Dubai. And it is already in the business since 1996 for over 25 years. We have 6 business group of companies across India and Middle East. And the number of employees are 150 plus, and we are growing actually. For more information, you can kindly visit our website at www.image-graphics.com. Then we have the presence in these many locations in India and Middle East. Okay. So these many offices, we are having it in India and as well as in Middle East. So now I would request Mr. Ahmed to take it up with his presentation. So thank you, and over to you, Ahmed.
Thanks, Fauzan, for your presentation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning to all. Greetings from SEG Solutions. This is Ahmed Higazi, SEG Solutions founder and SEG owner. If you would like to know more about SEG Solutions, kindly visit our website www.segsolutions.com. We had 2 webinars for SEG Software. Last one for heat exchanger, team heat exchanger. And if you would like to check the recorded video for this webinar, kindly visit our YouTube channel. Now let's talk about the SEG Software. It's an engineering application software and the design automation tool. It's a productivity tool for 3D modeling and detailing work. It's linked to Intergraph BB access file to generate the 3D model and the fabrication drawings. You will need Autodesk Inventor as a platform to be able to run SEG software. By using SEG software, you have the ability to create many different types of equipment, like horizontal sloped and vertical pressure vessels, columns with multi-sectional sections and different diameters, storage tanks with a fixed roof, TEMA heat exchangers, piping, ducts, and slug catcher. SEG license types. SEG license is available in 2 types. The first type is the hard key license. By using a USB stick, you will connect it to your machine and you will be able to run SEG software. The advantage of this type of license, it's a rump license. So that means you can move it from machine to another, but only one machine during running the SEG application. The second type of the license is the internet license. In this type of license, the user should be connected to the internet all the time during the running of SEG software. It depends on the machine and some information of the user, like username and password. This type of license is a standalone license. You cannot move it from machine to another unless you send a request to change the machine. Today's topic we will discuss some important points regarding to the advanced assembly or the project assembly for multi-vessels. And for this demo, we will create a stacked heat exchanger and create a general arrangement drawing with multi-sheets for this drawing for the stacked heat exchanger. By using the project assembly tool, we can generate the, by using this tool, which is the project assembly, we will make the assembly for both of those heat exchangers. And we will know how to specify the spacing between planes, main planes of the project, to get the final assembly of both of those automatically, both of those heat exchangers automatically. After that, we will proceed to create the general arrangement drawing with multi-sheets. Okay, so you have the ability to generate a drawing with multi-sheets. Let's open SEG Software. And here you can figure that we have in this project, we have two pressure vessels or two heat exchangers. The first one, as you can see, includes front end, tube bundle, shell side, and rear end. The second heat exchanger includes the same. Now, if we open Autodesk Inventor here, you can figure that we have two separate heat exchangers. Each one of those is created by SEG Software. And if we take a section view here of this exchanger, you can figure that all details appear here, like internal impingement baffle, tubes, tube sheet holding, pass partition, all of that. Okay, now we will make the main assembly of the for both of those exchangers. So from the project node, here we have three different nodes. The first level is the project level. After that, the equipment level. And each equipment of those includes another nodes for each element. Now we will select the project node, and by right-click on this node, we will get this shortcut menu. From it, we will select project assembly. Now we have this form for project assembly. This form gives you the ability to create assembly for your project equipment. The first equipment here, which is mentioned on the tree, this one, we will define it as the main vessel. After that, we will save the information. The second vessel, we will define the spacing between them. So what is the spacing between the elements here? If we take a look to the origin planes of the first equipment, you can figure that that's the main origin plane, which is XZ plane. We take a look from the front view. You can figure that this plane is divided the exchanger from the center line. The same for the second exchanger. If we come here and select the XZ plane, so to define the spacing between the XZ plane spacing, we will define the spacing between them. So this heat exchanger will be above that one with the defined space here. No shifting on the YZ or XZ plane, so we will keep those values with 0. After that, we will start a project. And in this case, we already generated the 3D model of the equipment. So we will open the 3D model of the heat exchanger. Now we have the final assembly of both heat exchangers. And you can figure that that's the assembly name. And now we will check the bill of material of this heat exchanger here. On clicking on the bill of material, you can figure that we have 90 elements. And by changing an option here on the app setting, this option, which is bill of material grouping, this option gives you the ability to make a submission for the identical items in both equipments or in all equipments in your project. If you would like to divide each equipment with a separate bill of material, you will remove this checkbox. Let's try this. Now, if we remove this checkbox and make the sort numbering like this and click Save, if we come back to the tables and open the bill of material table and come down right here, you can figure that we have 138 elements. Okay, that means by using this option, which is removing the submission of elements, you will separate each bill of material of each equipment in the final bill of material of your project. Let's come back here and select the group by overall project and sort numbering and click Save. Now, if we come back to the table, you can figure that the ellipsoidal heads, now we have two ellipsoidal heads for the top and the bottom heat exchanger, and you can figure that here, that's the second heat exchanger and that's the first heat exchanger. So if we come back down here, you can figure the total number of elements bear this one. Now let's start creating the project, the general arrangement drawing for this project. So from here we will select, click on drawing. So we will select the project node. After that, select drawing and select create drawing. From this wizard, we will select the drawing size. Let's select A1. That's the format of the drawing. And from the orientation, you have the ability to change the orientation of the drawing from portrait to landscape, change the location of the title block from the bottom right-hand side or bottom left-hand side or top. So select the title, the border location and the title block location. And from the active views, we will select the number of views that will appear on the general arrangement drawing. We will select the right side and define the spacing between the elevation view and the right view. And from the view orientation, we will select the left view. So if we come here and take a look to the left view, so we will make this view as the elevation. Okay, so we will look at left view, and from style, if you would like to make it with hidden lines, select this style, and if you would like to make it with visible lines only without any hidden lines, we will select this option. And from here, we will define the location of the main view on the drawing, define the scale, and from tables, we will define the required tables in this drawing. We will select the bill of material and nozzle table. From nodes, if you would like to add or edit or delete, just select a node, and you have the ability to import nodes from sales sheet. Regarding to the welding details, if you would like to remove or add another welding details, just select the required welding details from SEG welding detail library and click Save. Now we will add client document list and revision document list. From here, we will define the revision table, revision 0. Okay, checked, approved by. And if you would like to add some empty rows here. And for this style, here in this step, we will define the number of sheets required in this drawing. From here, in case of select the design one, you will have only one sheet, which is the main sheet in this one, which is A size format. But if we select the design 2, in this case, you have the ability to have two different sheets in your main drawing. We will make the second sheet with size A3, and in this case, you have the ability to move some tables, some information to another sheet. In this case, we will move the bill of material to the second sheet, okay, because it's a huge little bit, so it will make noise on the general arrangement. So we will separate it in a different sheet or in a separate sheet. Now, by clicking on Create Drawing, and if we come back here, okay, now you can figure that if you take a look to the Model tab, you can figure that we have Sheet 1 and Sheet 2. The second sheet, you can figure that we have the bill of material. Now it's created, just the information shall fill the table. After that, it will take place automatically. Here, that's the bill of material. Now the table is filled. After that, it will be adjusted automatically in the correct place. After that, you can make a modification on the location and the row width if you would like to change the row width of the table, the location of the table in the drawing. Now the location is modified. Let's come back to the sheet 1. Here, that's sheet 1. Here we have the revision table, the notes, the nozzle table, client and the document list, vessel document list, and the main 2 views of the vessel. Now the welding details will be added to the general arrangement drawing. Okay, now as you can figure that we have the 2 equipments, and if you would like to define some dimensions like the spacing or the gap between them, here this drawing source file is in inches, so we will modify it. So let's come back to the drawing source file and select that one to modify it in millimeter. Okay, so the value in millimeter. Now let's come back to the sheet number 2 to modify the bill of material. If we double click on the bill of material and let's modify the arrangement of the heading, let's make it on top, and the sorting from top to bottom, and click OK. And let's move the bill of material right here. And now we can make a split to this table. So we can make a split like this. And let's change the width of the row a little bit. Okay, now we have the bill of material like this of the total equipment. By this way, you can separate the bill of material or any other table in a separate sheet in the same drawing. So you can figure that you have 2 sheets, and that's sheet 1 of 2, sheet 2 of 2. Okay. Now we will make another live demo. So let's close this project and open another project. In the second demo, we will make an assembly for a jacketed vessel, which include internal vessel and external vessel. The internal vessel is including a coil, and the external vessel shall include another attachments for fixing and lifting. So by using the project assembly tool, we will make the final assembly for the all equipment. And in this step, we will learn how to make your standard template drawing for your company, and how you have the ability to import it in SEG to use it as a reference drawing. Okay, we have two different ways. That's the first way, and we will discuss it. The second way, we will discuss it in this live demo, and how you can add your title block and your border, and how to add this style in a correct way, and how you have the ability to import the drawing or the your standard title block in the SEG library to use it in your drawing. Okay, now let's come back to the project, and let's open the jacketed vessel. Now we have the inside vessel, that one. Okay, and that's the outside vessel. And by using the project assembly tool, we will open or generate the final assembly for both of those equipments. Let's take a section. So both of those equipments, like that. Okay, now we will learn how to create your reference template drawing by the first way. We will open new tab, and from here you can figure that you have SEG item template. If you open it, you will find drawings. If you select it, you will find the metric template and the English template. If we select metric template, for example, from here, let's delete the default border and title block, and let's define our new border. So from define the border, let's click our new border by using this tool, and let's define the spacing. Okay, so that's the border. Don't control the length of this one, because it's changed with the sheet size. So if you select A3 or A2 or A1, so this value is flexible. Don't constrain it. Now we will save this border as SEG CAD Solutions border, and let's import it to the drawing. And from the title block, we will add a new title block. So let's keep this title block. Let's define the length, the height, and let's add some information. And let's add an image. Okay, so from here, okay, let's add And let's make the drawing number as the bottom here. Okay, let's click OK. From the properties, we have some custom information for the drawing, like the client drawing number, drawing name, job number, location, manufacturer. All of those data shall be sent from SEG software to the reference drawing. So if you would like to add a drawing number here and reflect it automatically, we will double click on here, and from here we will select a custom property and select the drawing number and import it like that. So anytime, let's save this border as SEG CAD Solutions title block. Insert. Now, anytime you will change the drawing number, for example, if you change it and click OK, now the drawing number will be changed automatically. So by using the custom properties, you have the ability to fill all data in your title block automatically. Now we will save this title block or this drawing as a reference drawing to use it in our sample of today. If we click on save, you can figure that you have the ability to save this item because SEG takes control from Autodesk Inventor. Now we will click on Save Active Document, and from here we will select this drawing as a reference drawing, and let's save it here. And from SEG, from Setting tab, we will open the Custom Drawing, and from here we will select our reference drawing that we created right now, and define the horizontal gap. It was 1 centimeter, and the height was 1 centimeter. The height is 15, and it was 8, and the width 170. Now we will click define the drawing name. Okay, and let's click to append. Now we have this border is defined now in SEG, and to be able to use it, you should make it as set as default. So in this case, each time SEG will create a new drawing, automatically you will get this reference drawing to use it. Now let's try to create the drawing of this equipment. Let's click on Create Drawing, and from here we will select the size of the drawing, and let's select one view only, which is the elevation view, and let's look at, for this one, from the back view here. So that will be the elevation view. So let's hit back and make it with hidden lines. Define the scale, the location, and tables. We will select the bill of material table, nozzle table, and for notes we will add an external notes. We have a file includes the notes, so we will import it. After clicking on open, SEG will ask you if you would like to remove the old notes or use both of them. So we will delete the old notes by clicking on yes, and you can figure that now we have the new notes for our project. Let's click close, and from welding we will select some welding details, some more welding details like this, and click save. Now we will select from design. We will select the design 2 and select the size of sheet 2. Let's make it A2, and now we will separate the notes on a separate sheet. So we will define notes to be on the second sheet, and let's click save. Now we will click on create drawing. Now you can figure that the new border and the title block, our reference drawing, now is used as a reference drawing in this project. If you take a look to the model tab, you will figure that we have two sheets. The first sheet includes the equipment details, and the second sheet includes the notes. In this demo, we will learn how to add another tables to our drawing. Like if you would like to add manufacturing information or venting table or something like that to your drawing, how to import it to the or how to add it to your drawing. Now you can figure that the revision table is here, and the bill of material, the nozzle table, and the welding details of the equipment. Okay. Now we will add some other notes to the second sheet. We will learn how to do that. Okay, so from annotation, we will add a general tab, and let's add the procurement notes. Let's click on OK, and let's add it right here. And from here, we will select the style to be as a note, and let's define the width of each column. And the heading of the table. Let's add another note, which is the manufacturing note. By that way, you have the ability to add many different tables to your drawing by an easy way. And you have the ability to move tables anywhere in your drawing. Okay, so in this demo, we create the assembly of the jacketed vessel and create the general arrangement drawing of this one, which includes two sheets. The first sheet includes the general arrangement drawing of the equipment, and let's take a section on this one, like this. And if you would like to add a top view, like this, and move it and by break the relation between it and the main view, like this. So you have the ability to add views like this. Okay, after that, you have the ability to add some dimensions to your model and add some annotations like nozzle tag, for example, if you would like to define this nozzle name. Okay, and after adding your dimensions to your drawing, you will be able to create the final drawing of your equipment. Okay, we have another sample. For the next sample, we will, let's open it first. In this sample, we will create the general arrangement drawing with all details, with dimensions, and we will export it. To many different extensions. So in this demo, we will know how to change the drawing units from millimeter to inches, and how to change the nozzle size from NBS to DIN if you would like to change it on the nozzle table, and how to update your tables and the welding tips. And sometimes you will add some elements or add nozzles to your model, and if you would like to update the tables in your drawing, how you can do that. In this sample model, from the equipment setting, we will know how to change the units, and from the app setting, we will know how to change the unit type from decimal to fraction and select the fraction value, how to make a group for the bill of material, how to change the size of the nozzle from NBS to DIN, how to make a sort numbering. After that, we will know how to generate the general arrangement. So in this demo, we will generate the complete equipment general arrangement drawing by using SEG software in minutes. So let's come back to our model here and let's open the project assembly. Here we have this equipment right here, and we will start creating the general arrangement drawing for this equipment. Before that, let's select a border with inches. That's the standard borders in SEG. So if you would like to use the SEG title block and border in English units, we need first to remove this template from the library to be able, because it's defined it here as a default. So we will delete it to be able to use the standard reference drawing like that. And from here we will create our drawing. And from here we will select the size of this drawing. Before this step, let's check first the units here. For the equipment itself, we select English units, not metric units. Okay, and if we click on app setting, you can figure that we select the fraction type, not the decimal. Okay, and select the fraction value 1/32. And the sort numbering, we have two different types of sorting. If we select the SEG sorting numbering and click save, for example, if we open the table of the bill of material, you can figure that the sort numbering is 1.1, 1.2 for the format heads, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 for the sheet plates. Okay, after that, the numbering takes that configuration. If we change the sort numbering to be in sort number, which is 1, 2, 3, and if we click save, if we come back to the table and open the bill of material table, you can figure that the numbering comes like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now let's start creating the general arrangement drawing of this equipment. So we will right click on the project, and from the drawing tab we will click on create drawing, and from here we will select the drawing size. In this case, in this vessel, it's an English unit, so we will select a border with English units. So let's select D size. Okay, and from the active view, we will select two views, the elevation view and the right view, and let's make the spacing between them with 6 centimeters. And from view and orientation, we will select the left view to be the elevation view. Okay, so we will select the left view and make the style with hidden lines. And from here, we will define the location of the view in the drawing and define the scale of the view in the drawing. Okay, from tables, we will select bill of material table. We will select flange table, nozzle table, fitting table, and from notes, as we discussed, you have the ability to add or edit or delete. The welding details, let's select other welding details because the thickness here is a little bit I think it's more than 20 millimeters, so we will make it double V instead of single V. So we will select this, and it's same for flanges and some other attachments. The nozzles with reband, detail for the saddle wear plate and the saddle whip. And let's click Save. Let's add client document list and the visual document list. And from here, let's edit the revision table. Approved. Let's click Save, and let's add some empty rows to the revision table. Okay, and from the design table, we will make all data on one sheet. And from here, let's click on Create Drawing. Okay, now we will generate the general arrangement drawing for this equipment. You can figure that the two views appear here, the revision table, bill of material, after that the notes, the nozzle table, okay, now the welding details is appear on the drawing. Okay, now you have the ability to move tables anywhere in your model. So if you would like to make some adjustments, like moving the flange table a little bit here and the fitting table like that. Now, if you would like to add some details like the saddle detail on your model, we come back to the model right here, and if we open this equipment and open this saddle, so we have the ability to add this saddle view. Let's take a look from the back view. Let's open the drawing, and from here we will select the base view, and that's the saddle detail. Let's make it one like that, and let's move it a little bit here. 24. Click OK. Let's make it without shading. And let's take another view for the saddle. And let's add some dimensions to this saddle, like the distance from here to there. And now if you would like to make those values in different format, like in foot instead of inches, so you have the ability to select this type of dimension, so you can figure that you have foot per millimeter per inches, and from here to there. Let's move this view a little bit down here. Let's add a center line and define the saddle wear blade angle like this, and for saddle angle like this. The total length of the base plate, the width of the base plate. So to change the format of those dimensions, you will select them like this and move them to this style of dimension. Okay, the same for this one. Now let's add another detail for the lifting lug. So let's come back to the 3D model and open the lifting lug. We have this one, and let's take a look from the left view. So let's come back to the model, and from here we will select the left view, and let's move this detail to be right here. That's the lifting lug, and let's define the scale 1:10, and let's make it without shading. Okay, now we have this detail for the lifting lug, and if you would like to make another view, like this one, let's add a center line. Let's add some dimensions like the outside diameter, pinhole diameter, the hole offset, bottom facing, and this edge if you would like to find it. So let's select this dimension and change the style of this one. And if you would like to add a building detail, like to inform the welders that make a groove weld from that side and from the other side, like that, from the two sides, like this, so you can add building detail for this one like that. Now let's add some dimensions to the model of the equipment. Let's add the center lines for the nozzles. Assemblies. Now we'll add some other center lines for those flanges. And let's add some dimensions. Let's define this and add some annotations like the bill of material balance and the nozzle balance. Now let's add the tan line for the ellipsoidal heads. So let's define the totals from tan to tan, the straight flange length, the length of each course, now let's select those dimensions and change the style of those to be in foot instead of inches. Define the inside diameter. And let's change the style to make it vertical like this. instead of horizontal, like that. Defined the length of each pipe. Now we will add some balance for the bill of material. So from balance we will select item number in bill of material and select part legacy. Continue. So if we need to add some balance to the saddle, we will follow the same steps. The rear plate and the base plate. So if we would like to check that item number 7, if we come back to the bill of material, you configure that item number 7 is a base plate, and that's the dimension of this one, the length, width, and thickness. And you configure that all dimensions are in inches. Okay, now let's add some dimensions for the total gap between the two center lines. Now let's add some nozzle annotation. From Balloon we will select nozzle tag, and from here we will select this nozzle. Select that nozzle, for example, that's the outlet. Okay. Like that. And let's add the space in between the two saddles. By the same way, let's change the style. Now we have the general arrangement of the equipment. Let's add some other details for the welding. Here from the sketch samples, you will find some standard blocks in SEG, and you have the ability to add your standard blocks to the drawing. For example, let's add a top view to indicate the key plan. So let's create this, and let's change the scale. Okay, let's use this as a key plan, for example. And from here, let's add the north direction to this drawing. So by using the standard blocks, you have the ability to add some standard blocks from SEG. Let's add the welding, some welding details, like the longitudinal welding line orientation, the longitudinal welding line detail, circumference welding line detail, flange weld line detail. Okay. Okay. Now to update that on the drawing, from the annotation tab, we will from insert tab, we will define the welding line details like this, and let's select to define the longitudinal welding line orientation. Okay, C for the welding flanges, like this one and that one. And for nozzles with rebad, NW4, so let's select NW4 to indicate the welding detail of the nozzle with reband, like this one. Okay, and that one. Okay, now we have the general arrangement drawing of this equipment, and now we will know how to export the 3D model and the detailed drawings of the equipment in different formats. To export the 3D model, you will need to select the node, any node on your tree. For example, if you would like to export the model of the project, or the vessel, or a group, or an element like the head, for example, just select the node from SEG tree and right-click on it and select Export to. After that, you will get many different extensions to be able to export to it. And to export your drawing, the same thing. You will select the node, and you should have a drawing for it first. And from the drawing tab, you will select Export to, like this. From this shortcut menu, you will select drawing, and from the drawing, you will select Export to be able to export this drawing. And some other features for the save as, and save all document, and those features we will discuss. Here, those are the available extensions that you have the ability to export to. Let's come back to the 3D model here. And from SEG tab, if you would like to export the 3D model, just from the select the project tab and select Export to, and now you have the ability to select many different extensions like DWG, DWF, BDF, SAT, STL, IGES file. Let's select AutoCAD, DWG, and let's export this one. And let's open CAD to open the 3D model which we export it. Let's open the CAD mechanical. And let's open the project. So from open, we will select from the desktop. Let's select the DWG. So we have this exported model. Now we have this exported model on 3D by Autodesk Inventor to CAD or any other CAD software. Okay. Now, how to export the drawing? So from here we will right-click, and from drawing we will select Export to, and you will find many different extensions like DWG, DXF, IDW, and BDF. Let's select a BDF, and from here let's select the location, select the project, and let's name it as GA and click Save. Now if we open the source file here, let's wait SEG to export the drawing. We will receive a message after exporting. Let's click OK. Now let's check the drawings that we exported. Now we have the exported drawing in PDF format, includes all information, and if you would like to export it in other extensions like DWG or DXF, you have the ability to do that. Okay. By the end of this webinar, we discuss how to create a stacked TEMA heat exchanger by using the project assembly tool, and how to create assembly for jacketed vessel, how to select and create a template drawing and use it as a reference drawing in your model, how to change the units from millimeter to inches, how to change the nozzle size from NPS to DIN or from DIN to NPS, how to update tables and welding details in SEG drawing, how to create the template drawing and use it as a reference, how to export your drawings in different formats. We are thanking you so much for your time, and if you have any questions, kindly text to us and we will reply for all of your questions. Fauzan, you have the mic.
Yeah, if you want to get in touch with us for any queries related to today's session, you can feel free to reach us on the below mentioned email addresses. Also, if you would like to see a detailed demo on the product, so do let us know and we can arrange the same. So thank you for giving us your valuable time and interest shown towards SEG. So we request all of you to stay home and stay safe. With this, let us conclude our session for today. Thank you.